My father will hear about this. There you go. There were some really cool lines. It's tough for me to pick one. Do you have one that comes to mind?
The one about your father.
My father. Yeah. What is that? Why? Unemotional father. Okay. I'm happy to keep plugging that one for the next few years.
Thank you.
Thanks. I just want to say, this is really awkward. Having I've never done this before, but there's a TV in front of me. Of me, yeah. So it's really uncomfortable. I keep trying to like fix creases or sorry.
Wondering, I know that you've done music before, and I'm just wondering if that's something that you'd like to pursue and continue, or if you're more into acting now.
It's always something that I've enjoyed doing, making music of various different genres. When I was 12, I was convinced I was the next British Eminem. Shouldn't happen. Don't ask me about rap fame. It's horrible. And yeah, more recently learned to play guitar and various other instruments that I enjoy bringing with me. It's something that I've always enjoyed doing, and my fear is that if I pursued it as a career choice, then it would somewhat suck the life out of the creativity. So yeah, I really appreciate. It's always very humbling to hear that people have listened to music. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. So hopefully, if I do any more over the next few years, I'll happily share them. So thanks a lot, man.
Hi.
Hey.
I just wanted to say, first of all, you're beyond talented and you're doing such an unbelievable job in the movies, but I was wondering, are there any members of the cast that you keep in contact with?
No. I'm kidding. We're forced to see each other every now and then, but no, it's nice actually. I joke, but we're a pretty tight bunch, to be fair. It's kind of that awkward family thing where you don't always stay in touch as well as you should do. But then when you do see each other, you're instantly kind of reconnecting. I actually played golf with one of the young Weasley brothers, Ollie Phelps, a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, which is cool. We do the odd things like that, and with the Warner Brothers studio tour and Orlando, and I'm sure there'll be some re-releases of films in 4D, scratch and sniff and whatever. So I'm sure we'll be On Ice, the musical, whatever. I'm sure we'll be a family for a long time to come. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Congrats on the outfit, by the way. You look awesome.
I was just wondering what your favorite thing to do when you get to a new city is?
Well, explore. This is the horrible thing about, the hard thing about these weekends is that I'm only here for a weekend. As much as I want to spend as much time with you guys as possible, I also want to see the lay of the land. So I just like to walk. Last night when I got to the hotel, immediately I just went on an hour stroll, which actually was slightly more hazardous than I first expected. Your pavements are pretty slippery when it gets cold, but luckily I didn't go head over heels. So yeah, just walk around. I think the locals as well. People always say this is a nice place, or I love that place, when really the place is defined by the people. If you guys are all horrible to me today, then even if your city, it could be the nicest place in the world, I'm only ever going to come back and say I didn't really like Ottawa. So quite the opposite, you'd be pleased to hear. You guys are living charming, so nothing but pleasant things to say. I also add as well, there's a lot of rumours around the world when I ask about Canadians in general, that you guys are ridiculously polite and very humble and very hospitable, and all three of those things are very, very true. So you'd be pleased to hear you guys have a great reputation around the world, and you're living up to it. So. Yeah. You want to do a quick date? No. Definitely not.
Like no.
Hi.
Hey.
I was just wondering what the first thing you did was after finishing filming the Harry Potter series.
Cried. It's pretty sad, man. Yeah. I actually did that British awkward boy thing where we just sort of, I had to leave as soon as possible because I knew if I went around doing too many goodbyes then I probably would start blubbing like a girl, so it was just, thanks very much, and sort of awkwardly stumbled off. Yeah, I didn't, you know, it's one of those senses, it's a bit like finishing school, I guess, or finishing college. We were all excited, we were very proud and happy that we'd made it, but we were also pretty sad to say goodbye to each other, I think. Luckily, you know, I remember at the time people saying, like, how do you feel now it's over? And it's definitely not over. I mean, how many years on are we now already still keeping the flame alight? So, yeah, I feel lucky that this isn't going to be something that's ending anytime soon, and so I'm just going to enjoy the wave for as long as it's there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, wow, now I look like such a diva. Are you kidding me? Thank you. Alright.
Okay, I have a question for you. You played Draco for like 10 years.
Sure.
Very long. I was wondering if J.K. Rowling decided to make like another series to like a sequel, would you come back? Would you
well, on that note, apparently she is, right? I'm sure you guys have heard rumours of another book, or another few books, or another film, I think, that they're putting under Warner Brothers logo, which is very cool. I mean, it's an obvious answer, I think. I'd run back, yeah. It doesn't matter how big or small the part was. Even in, I have this weird vision that in 30 or 40 years they'll end up remaking these films and whatever the latest thing is. And hopefully I can come back and play Lucius. I'm holding out for that. So fingers crossed. Alright, thank you. Love you too. Hey.
To figure out what house you are, and if so, what house are you?
I never did, because when you know you're a Slytherin, you just know. There's no online survey that can convince me otherwise. No, I feel very loyal to the Slytherin house, so I wouldn't even risk a chance of someone telling me the other way. Actually, funny enough, there was we were in, I forget exactly where it was, one of the studio tours. They have the sorting hat from the first film, and they were very keen for me to put it on for some promotional purposes, and they wouldn't let me, in fear that it would have said, because when you put it on, there's a speaker that says, oh, Gryffindor or whatever, and they were so worried that I was going to be deemed to be a Hufflepuff or a Ravenclaw. They didn't let me put it on. Ironically, when they put it on the next kid who was there, it said Slytherin, so it would have been the right thing anyway, but yeah. I'm sorry, I'm going completely off on a tangent.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Stop saying that. Stop saying that. You're gonna make
Hi.
Hi. You came to my house to make dinner for my family.
Just before I answer that, I've been lucky enough to do a few of these this year, and already you guys have got the best questions of my life. What would I make? I'm a pretty terrible cook. Is it acceptable to order takeout? She's giving me the nod. Alright. I would whip up maybe, do you guys do roasts over here? If I like roast chicken, some potatoes, vegetables, gravy, that kind of thing. But I'd be heavily reliant on my mum. I'd probably be Skyping her as I cook. She'd basically be cooking it for us. I'd just be doing the labour. But yeah, so if that sounds good to you, then I can come up and do a roast chicken for you and your family.
Hi. I actually wanted to ask about the J.K. Rowling Harry Potter book that she kind of mentioned that is 75% done, but it looks like somebody asked you the question already. So I know maybe some people already asked the question already, but if ever you could play another role than Draco Malfoy, who you think you can be, and do you think you can make an impression of that character?
Wow. I've always thought I would have been a fantastic Hermione. Red fire, I think the outfit, the hair. And no, I can't do a good Emma impression. I don't know. Again, if it's not Hermione, then it'd be Hagrid. It'd be something similar. I'm a bit blindsided. Really. I'm a bit loyal to the dark side. I could never imagine. I don't think any of us could ever imagine playing each other's characters. I think we like to take the mickey out of each other on set. Matthew Lewis, who plays Neville, got a lot of that stick. Yeah, we all enjoy our characters, I think, and I really couldn't see myself coming back as a Gryffindor. I'm way too deep now in the down the Slytherin path, so.
Thanks so much, have a great day.
Thanks, lovely, you too.
Oh,
Hey,
Hey.
so other than fame, which you got from being in the movies, what else did you take from the series?
Hold on. He got fame for being amazing.
Appreciate that sorry, my mind's gone to. What was the question?
Apart from fame, which obviously you got, because as you said, you were amazing.
I'm not fishing for this, I promise. Can you just tell me once more? I'm kidding, sorry.
Yeah, so apart from
What else did I take from that? Yeah, other than great experience and all the usual stuff, a lot of good friends, and a lot of really shaping who we are today. I think we started doing the films when we were between 10 and 12, and we grew up on these film sets working with a similar group of adults every year. So it really taught me, I think, how to interact with people in various different walks of life and how to talk to people in general. I think one of the greatest things for me, and it's clearly evident that it will have touched some of your guys' lives in a similar respect. I wasn't really, literature didn't exist in my world before Harry Potter. Certainly when the first Harry Potter came out, the school that I was at, you weren't considered, it wasn't the done thing to spend your lunch break reading a book. You'd be outside playing or whatever, and within 2 years, or 3 years, whatever, Joe pretty much turned that on its head, where if you hadn't read the Harry Potter books, then in fact you were out the group now. So it seems to have inspired an entire generation to not only want to read, but also to want to create. There's an endless array of byproducts off the back of the films, and the some pretty zany fan fiction. I don't want to go too deep into that, but the fact that it's inspired people to want to write their own stuff. I know there's music off the back of it as well. Wizard Rock, I think. So yeah, it's definitely inspired me to enjoy those things, and clearly it has a lot of other people as well. Thanks, man. You just tell me the thing again about me being great and I'm fun. Kids.
I saw the apparition recently and I thought it was pretty terrifying.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say it was pretty terrible. Pretty terrifying, okay, cool.
Scared? Like, did that experience kind of scare you a bit?
Not particularly. It's a funny movie for me because we shot lots and lots of when they write a script and they make the film, sometimes when they edit it and look at it, it doesn't make as much sense as it did on the page. So they go back and they reshoot things and they add little sections in and to try and make more sense. So the film that actually came out as The Apparition was very different from the one that I originally read. I think the only scary part about it is that it's based on a true story. We actually watched these videos where, I don't know whether you know the story about these psychology students who were trying to summon spirits. They shot the whole thing on this 8mm video camera. It's a documentary out there, I forget where I found it, but that was pretty terrifying to know that kind of stuff. I'd rather not know, I'd rather definitely not dive into that world of the supernatural and the unknown. So, but I'm glad thanks for watching the movie, I appreciate it.
I
Hit me.
First is, how is it like working with all the actors on the set? And have you ever seen a Harry Potter musical? Which is actually a girl that plays you.
Lauren, right? Lauren. Just quickly on the musical, this is a prime example of what I was just talking about, how people have clearly felt the need to create their own body of work off the back of it, and that's a raging success. Those guys have done amazingly with that, and yeah, it's a great example of how to have fun with these sorts of things. And I think Lauren was amazing. I think she should have got the gig, and I should have been doing the musical. But yeah, unfortunately I've never actually met her, but I've heard lots of nice things about her, and they seem like a really very cool bunch. As far as working with the actors, yeah, we were very lucky that everyone was incredibly nice, really. Looking for a better adjective, but that was about as good as I could find. Especially the senior actors, if you will. They were incredibly patient. Bear in mind we were only kids coming into the first couple of films, and they were very patient with us. And any skill that I do have as an actor is definitely rubbed off from working with some of those great guys. So yeah, I feel very lucky for that.
I may embarrass myself by saying this, but I love you so much.
Thanks. I love you too. Thank you. Bless you.
So,
Hi.
first of all, I want to say you're a brilliant actor. In like the last 3 movies, I almost cried every one of your scenes. It was so amazing.
Thank you, love it. That's very kind of you to say.
The Voldemort hug. So a lot of us watching the movie were like, this is so uncomfortable. Like, how did you and the cast people, did you think that it was kind of weird of Voldemort, and then did you enjoy the hugs?
Not really. He's a pretty terrible hugger, to be honest with you. His vibes are just cold. They're not good.
Nice thing going on in the back.
Yeah. Just quickly, before I get to that, was it something that the audience found funny over here, or just?
Yes! It was hilarious.
It was humorous.
Yeah.
Both, right? Because in England there was a whole thing of like, oh my god, this is really, the whole cinema went quiet. It was a bit, awkward, and thought, what the hell is he doing? But in America, and evidently here as well, I guess, they seem to have found it hilarious, which is great that you guys managed to find humor in. No, the truth is that it's not in the script, and it wasn't supposed to happen. They maybe shot that scene like 50 different times, over and over again. And Rafe is such a great actor. He never really does the same thing twice. So I say that you have to be on your toes with someone like Rafe, especially when he's playing Voldemort. He's a pretty scary guy. And yeah, I know where that came from. He just out of nowhere, he was just like this, and I was like, okay. I don't know where we're going with this. And that's the one they used, which I thought was the strangest part, is that we got like so many different versions of that, and yet the one they used was the awkward Voldemort hug. So I consider myself lucky that I'm the only guy who's been hugged by Voldemort. Thanks, lovely.
Hello.
Hey.
I was recently at the studio in Houston and seeing all the props were all pretty jaw-dropping. Is there any prop or set in particular that took you right away, even you see it every day?
Actually, this is the one in.
The one in London.
Yeah.
If you had a chance to go to that.
Highly recommend it. Yeah. Even myself, I was jaw-dropping.
And he does the digital tour guide.
I do, yeah. Oh yeah, how was that? I never actually heard that. Is it any good? Okay, alright. Fishing for more compliments. Yeah, I was really impressed with the studio tour. I just assumed it was going to be, a big warehouse where they just crammed a bunch of old stuff that they haven't thrown away. But it's the opposite. They've kept everything, literally from the very first, some of the stuff that I haven't seen in, over a dozen years, and they've still held on to it. As far as favourites, it's a tough one, really. I love the idea of the Nimbus 2000. The actual practicalities of it are somewhat less desirable, but I really enjoyed the Chamber of Secrets.
The door?
Well, the door they have, and also filming on the set. I remember that was one of the sets that we were all, is it finished yet? Is it finished? Can we go and check it out? Yeah, but the door, the fact they have the door, and it's mechanical, the snakes actually move, yeah. credit to the wonderful team who put it all together. But yeah, that's pretty special.
Thank you.
Thanks, love.
Hi, I just wanted to say that in the Half-Blood Prince, you really got to stretch your acting chops. You were amazing.
Thank you.
And that must have been the hardest one of all the movies for you to pull off.
Sure.
I'm wondering how you prepared for that, especially being when you all
I was pretty terrified, to be honest. About working with these other actors. I guess the 5 years previous to that, more or less been the same thing each year. You know, just stand in the corner and help some abuse at Harry every now and then. Speak ridiculously posh. That was about it. Yeah, the odd kick. But yeah, so I was very nervous about that. David Yates was very kind. He gave me a lot of time to work with not only him but with the other actors, with Michael Gambon, who plays Dumbledore, and Alan Rickman, who plays Snape. Both of which, I mean, Alan, I've been working with him for 6 years, and I probably said no more than "Good morning, Alan" to him because I was so terrified of him. He kind of lives. He's not a method actor, I don't think, but he definitely walks and holds himself like Snape when he's off set. He wears the clothes, the face, and the voice.
Obviously.
Yeah, so it was pretty daunting, but funny enough, you know, all these guys, they're incredibly. He's a very, very funny man, a very witty man, very dry sense of humour. So it took me a couple of years, but as far as preparing for that film, it's given me a chance to do some one-on-one scenes with Alan and Michael. That was, yeah, it felt like I was nerve-wracking at the time, but looking back at it, we had a great time.
Well, you really pulled it off. You managed to bring pathos to a role of a guy who was really a douche. So you made us feel bad for you. You really pulled it off.
Awesome, thank you. That's definitely David Yates' his thing. He was like, if we can get people empathetic for Draco, then we've done something right. So I appreciate that.
So one more quick question. Would you consider doing some television work? I mean, there are some awesome series like Game of Thrones or Downton Abbey. Even.
Yeah.
See one of those.
Right.
Would your agent put your name in for?
Certainly, yeah. There's definitely no. I have no qualms in saying that the prestige of film, if there ever was that over TV, is definitely gone. I mean, we've got some amazing shows, like you said. I've recently been hooked into The Walking Dead, which is a new thing for me, because I don't really watch much TV, but especially if someone told me there was a TV show about zombies and stuff, I'd be like, no, that doesn't sound like it's for me. But I watched 2 episodes on a plane, and now I'm 3 seasons deep, yeah. And actually it was really funny, because I got off the plane yesterday after watching 2 or 3 episodes, and the guy who was picking us up said, we're just going to wait here for a few minutes, one of the other guests is coming. I was like, alright, fine. And then Scott comes off the commercial, and his leg's back, and I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, I proper fanboyed out for like half an hour in the car. And you know what I realised as well? I was asking him questions that I knew the answer to. I was like, oh, so how did he do the green, how did he do the zombie? And they were like, oh, there's this thing called green screen. I did this, now we're really off on a tangent. But yeah, in long and short of your answer, yes, I'm actually about to start working on a TV show next week, actually. Yeah, we start shooting on Thursday, so that should be fun. It's for TNT, it's a program called Murder in the First. And yeah, I get to play a Silicon Valley billionaire brat, so no time for that. It should be fun.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to Ottawa, home of the top 3 Quidditch teams in Canada.
So yeah, just quickly, I only found out it's an actual sport. It's not just I've seen renditions of it, but this is a full-on. I hear it's very physical as well. People get hurt. Wow. So sorry, back to the 3 top teams. Go on.
I'm actually half-time the teams. I'm just wondering if you'd be interested in playing Quidditch at some point, Muggle Quidditch.
Well, after hearing that people get battered and bruised, possibly not, but I'm very intrigued to see the actual game in motion. I mean, where can I see this? Is it YouTubeable? Can I,
tomorrow.
There's a game? No. I'm not going to play now.
My brother plays, he's a snitch
I'm fascinated. It sounds great.
Season's still going, but
They have a season? Wow.
right now, I'm not sure what's going on. You can go on the site. There's a site.
Okay. I'm gonna do some research into this. I thought.
Everything's, all the information's on it. So,
Alright.
yeah.
That's my night. Alright, for sure.
They have a ton of videos on YouTube too.
Awesome. I will check it out. Appreciate the heads up.
Perfect, thank you.
No worries about that. Thank you.
Hi there.
Hey, how you doing?
I want to be in
I was wondering, when you first auditioned for the Harry Potter movies,
Yeah.
was Draco the original character you auditioned for?
This would be the appropriate time to use the Hermione joke, but I guess I've already done that. Can I cash in again on that? I should have saved it. No. Originally it was for Harry. Dyed my hair dark brown, gave me the scar and glasses. Then for Ron, I did about 4 or 5 auditions for Harry. I think I was down to the last dozen or so of people that were doing it. They dyed my hair ginger going in for Ron. And finally we bleached it blonde, and it was that way for 12 years after that. I'm not really sure. I think the casting process was pretty unique because they had thousands of kids who were obviously fans of the books and wanted to be in the film. I was one of the ignoramuses who had no idea what it was or what it was about, and there would be a whole line of kids who Chris Columbus, the director of the first few, would ask each person individually which chapter or which part from the book they were most looking forward to seeing made in the film. And I only realised when there were about 2 people away that, shit, I don't have anything to say here. I've got no idea what this is, Harry who? And the kid next to me just said something about, can't wait to see Gringotts in the flesh. And I was like, yeah, those Gringotts, man, they're going to be awesome. I'm pretty sure he saw straight through my line there. Possibly may have helped me get the part of Draco, I don't know. Lying to the director on our first outing was probably a good start. So yeah, it was a long-winded process. And actually, I remember vividly in memory as well. My first ever audition was, again, with a row of kids. Emma was standing next to me. It was her first audition as well. So yeah, a few years later, we were on set. So quite ironic.
And I heard that Daniel, one of the props you took away from the movies, was the first pair of glasses, Harry glasses that he wore. I'm wondering, did you take any prop as my...
Daniel gets away with murder. No, very little. In fact, they had these searches that were being done on your cars as you left the studios for the last few years to make sure you hadn't snuck a nimbus in the trunk of your car or anything like that. In fact, it was a long-running joke that we wanted to handcuff Daniel and gag him and stick him in the boot of the car, just to see the security guy's face. I got a ring. There's a silver ring that Draco wore from the 3rd film onwards, and they had like 8 of them, so they were very kind to give me one of those. But everything else is in these museums. I tried several attempts to steal my wand. And yeah, people think there's like hundreds of them, but there was only one wand from day one, so that's actually in the Lisa's studio tour in London. So I go and see it if I get, it's like getting a scholarship.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, lovely.
They said you would be a flashlight.
Yeah, I wanted to see the flashlight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, this lovely gentleman is letting us know this will be the final question. No, there will be 500 more questions. Sorry, I heard that wrong. It's the 5-minute mark, I'll let you know.
I'm just enjoying the kill. Alright. Sorry.
So I have 2 questions. The first one being, will you marry me?
How can I say no? But I fear my missus would give me a bollocking if I did. Okay, alright.
And the second one is, a lot of the Harry Potter cast members have been in Doctor Who, and I was wondering if you were going to join that league of people.
I'd love to. Yeah. In fact, Matt and I have the same agent back in the UK.